So I want to talk about Cersei Lannister, surprise, surprise, and her romantic endeavours, shall we say. I get this question quite a lot. If Cersei did marry Rhaegar Targaryen, would she keep on sleeping with Jaime? I think, on reflection, the answer is probably yes. I think she would cheat on Rhaegar with Jaime. If she can be unfaithful to Jaime, the person that she thinks is the closest to her in the world, I mean, if we're talking putting Rhaegar on a pedestal, she put Jaime on a pedestal first. Now, do I think that Cersei enjoyed her relationship with Jaime because of the control that she was able to leverage over him? Absolutely. So if she can't even be faithful to Jaime, no matter how twisted it actually is, in her mind, I don't think she understands what being faithful is. And in fairness to Cersei, she is in a pretty loveless marriage. I mean, imagine on your wedding night, your husband whispering another woman's name in your ear. I mean, even if he was drunk, still, I would be wanting the divorce papers the next day. And you would feel awful. And so the marriage between Robert and Cersei was just not a romantic one at all. Like, they had a physical relationship, but it soon fizzled out. And we know that Robert, he put it about. Robert wasn't shy. He was busy. He was getting his elsewhere. So I don't begrudge Cersei for wanting companionship, wanting affection, because everyone is entitled to that. Everyone needs that. But it's her choice of people that she makes her companions. That's where Cersei comes undone. Book 5, A Dance with Dragons. Cersei has been arrested by the Faith of the Seven. And the irony is, it all started with a scheme by Cersei, cooked up in her head as a way to trap Marjorie Tyrell. But of course, in classic Cersei style, it backfires. And she goes to the High Sparrow and she says, I'm ready to confess some of my sins. She says, Mother, have mercy on me then. I have lain with men outside the bonds of marriage. I confess it. And they're like, who then? Like, spill. Cersei replies, Lancel Lannister, my cousin, and Osney Kettleblack. Both of those men had confessed to bedding her. It would do her no good to deny it. So she admits to sleeping with Lancel and she admits to sleeping with Osney Kettleblack. And the Kettleblacks are kind of this new family, they're kind of like hired swords, and they worm their way into the royal court, and they get in very well with Cersei, and she sleeps with one of them. It's these 3 brothers, but she thinks, you know what if the other 2 brothers have been arrested as well, and what if they confess to sleeping with me? I better say I slept with them as well to preempt it. And this is the reasoning Cersei gives. She says that the reason why she slept with these people, even though she was the Dowager Queen and expected to basically be chaste until she was remarried, she says she did it because she was lonely and afraid. The gods took King Robert from me, my love and my protector. How Cersei said that with a straight face, I'll never know. She says, I was alone, surrounded by schemers, false friends and traitors who were conspiring at the death of my children. I did not know who to trust, so I used the only means that I had to bind the Kettleblacks to me, meaning her flesh. And she says, it was for my children, though, for the realm. I took no pleasure in it. The Kettleblacks, they are hard men and cruel, and they used me roughly. What else was I to do? Tommen needed men around him I could trust. Cersei admits to corrupting Lancel Lannister, saying that she had lost her husband, her son, and her lord father. I was regent, but a queen is still a woman, and women are weak vessels, easily tempted. She really plays up the damsel in distress angle. The High Septon made no move to comfort her. Yeah, they're not really buying this act that Cersei's putting on, but she does give a good performance. I mean, her eyes were red and raw from crying, so, you know, she gave it a good try. Now, the funny thing is, Cersei is having a relationship with at least one Kettleblack, and she, you know, it's kind of an open secret that if you please the queen, you might get into her bed. Like, she doesn't have any problem flirting with anyone to try and get them to do her bidding. So it was understood how to get into the Queen's good graces. The problem for Cersei is the Kettle Blacks are in the pay of other people. And there's another relationship that Cersei has in King's Landing that most people actually don't know about. But I also suspect that this person was being paid to hang out with Cersei, to get close to Cersei. Her name is Lady Taena Merryweather, and I think she was put up to it. I think she probably grew to not mind Cersei's company, but I think the reason she got close to Cersei was to get the dirt on her. And she says to Cersei, you know, you're spying on Marjorie, but she's got her own spies in your bedchambers, in your rooms. Everyone is spying on everyone. Now, the relationship between Taena and Cersei started off as friends and seemingly a social/political thing, but then it moves into something more. But the good thing for Cersei is when she's arrested, Lady Taena flees the capital and she takes the secret of her relationship with Cersei with her. Now, would someone like Varys know about this? It's very likely. He might even be the one to have put Taena up to it in the first place. But Cersei is relieved that Taena is far away, so she can't be grilled about her relationship with Cersei, and so more charges wouldn't be levied against Cersei. Because she's got a lot of things that she's confessing to, but there's a lot of things that she's denying. For example, she denies killing King Robert. She denies having any role in that. So that's stuff that Cersei still has to deal with after her Walk of Atonement. That's still not been settled yet. That's like TBD. It's one thing for the Queen to be accused of being this like harlot, but it's another thing if she's accused of having a relationship with a woman. This is a medieval society. Like, even though it would have been happening everywhere, publicly it was not appropriate, and especially not for someone like the Queen. It is ironic that Cersei hatched this scheme to get Marjorie, and it backfires on her completely. And the fact that Cersei knows that she has her own spies, but it doesn't occur to her that other people are actually spying on her too. Like, it seems like a bit of an oversight. Like, Cersei just doesn't realise. She expects absolute blind loyalty, and she knows that she's not loyal, but that's fine because there's one rule for Cersei and another for everybody else. And I think that applies to her relationships. She claims to love Jaime and she begs him for help when she's arrested. She's like, please, I love you, come save me. And Jaime, to his credit, is like, no, I'm not coming. In part because Tyrion told Jaime that Cersei had been sleeping with everybody, and so Jaime is pissed. It's just classic Cersei. She holds up her relationship with Jaime as like this super special, super unique thing that only they can understand and nobody else gets it. It's so important and all of this. But then she has absolutely no issues sleeping with somebody else. So when you bring it back to Rhaegar, I don't think Cersei would have remained faithful to him. I think pretty quickly the rose-tinted glasses would have come off and she would have been like, he's just a guy. I think she built up an idea of what hers and Rhaegar's relationship could have been in her mind. Like, it never happened, so in Cersei's mind, it would have been perfect if it did happen. But the reality is, like, Rhaegar was a bit older, he had different interests. I don't know if they would have gotten on that well. And I could easily see Cersei continuing her relationship with Jaime, because that level of control that Cersei has over Jaime, that's something she will not be quick to relinquish at all.